What would keep me from perceiving what God is doing? Maybe it's expecting it to look just like what he's done. So here I am looking for God to part the Red Sea again, because that's what he did last time. Sometimes the greatest barrier to what God is doing is what he used to do. So when you first became a Christian, you just open your Bible and you're like, oh, you just open it anywhere and God spoke to you and it had the verse of your street address from when you were 8 and you just opened it and you felt like a Care Bear and love shot out of your chest all across the... And now, man, your Bible flips open to all the depressing Psalms and the Judas and God, speak to me like you used to speak to me. And God said, I'm still speaking, but not on the same frequency. I need you to go deeper. I need you to dig for something now. Forget not his faithfulness, but forget the form that it came in. They couldn't get this. So in Hebrews chapter 6, verse 1, the writer says, you keep looking for God to look like the law because that's what you were addicted to. See, we get addicted to one form of deliverance, and then grace comes along and we don't even know what to do with it because it's not what God used to do. You got to move on. Some of you grew up in really religious environments where, God wasn't happy unless you were depressed, It didn't even count as church unless you had to endure it. You need to move on past that. God is doing a new thing. I mean, lift your hands, lift your heart, be free in his presence. He's doing a new thing. Do you not see it? It will spring forth out of the ground. Do you not perceive it? And what got me about it, JJ, is that when he did it at the Red Sea, he made a way through the waters. Is that what he did? Not setting you up this time. That's how the Bible story goes, right? Dun, 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 dun. He made a way, dun, 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 through the waters. And the water stood up. The water that separated them from their freedom stood at attention like walls on either side until they got through and drowned the Egyptians. And they loved that story because that story reminded them of their deliverance. And he made a way through the waters. Isaiah says, this time, God is going to make a way, but he's not going to make a way through the waters. He's going to make a way in the wilderness. Let me ask you a question. What did they need in the wilderness? What was it? They needed water. So what used to be the barrier is about to be the blessing. Y'all better help me preach. I feel the faithfulness of God. You see what I'm saying? What was the barrier is now the blessing. What did threaten to kill you is now what God is bringing forth to bless your life. Shout about it. So God said, I am your creator. I am your king. And this is what I do. I turn barriers to blessings. I turn water in dry ground into sustenance for your survival. I turn pain into power. I turn shame into grace. I turn abuse into strength. I make a way. I'm a way maker. I'm worthy of worship. I'm worthy of praise. I'm doing a new thing in your life. Whatever's next is better. Whatever's next is better. That's what my faith believes when I find myself in a wilderness. See, a wilderness is not a situation where you feel like you're about to die. A wilderness is a situation like these exiles in Babylon, wondering, how long, oh Lord? How long am I going to feel like I'm in a place emotionally that I don't understand? It wasn't the physical surrounding of Babylon that made them weep as they sat by the rivers. It wasn't the lack of prosperity. It was a loss of purpose. How long am I going to wander in this place? But this time, I'm not sending Moses to get you out. This time I'm going to send the water to where you are. And I am going to bless you in that place. Because I'm a way maker. Bum, 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 bum. I believe. Dun, 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 dun. I'll see you do it again. But how you do it is up to you. I don't know if this will help you, but sometimes I get in situations and I just don't see a way. I don't know if you're there right now. I don't know if you're going into that, if you just came out of it. One thing I know is you will find yourself. It feels terrible because you feel trapped. You feel uncertain. You feel landlocked. And here comes water springing forth from the ground where you are. And I learned something. I hope this helps you. Really want this to help you. When I get into that internal wilderness where I can't feel God like I used to feel God. And it used to be dun, 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 dun. And now it's just when I get into that place and I don't know how, and I don't know who, and I don't know when I get into that place, I realize that it's not my job to predict the way that God is going to make. So I don't have to know how if I know who. You got me? I am Alpha and Omega, beginning and the end. A lot of us get stuck in a beta blessing, and we cannot receive the upgrade because we are so stuck in the way God used to move. But he says today, I am doing a new thing. I know it doesn't feel like it used to feel, but I'm still faithful. I know it doesn't look like it used to look, but I'm still faithful. I know some things have changed in our country, but I'm still faithful because I am the Lord. I was the Lord. I am. I was. I will be. I make a way. It's what I do. It's who I am. And I'm making a way for you right now. Do you not see it? And so often the answer is, no, I don't see it. Because I'm looking backwards. I found out for a lot of people, the greatest barrier to their blessing is not what's before them. It's what's behind them. That God has already dealt with. So whoever God sent me to preach to today, you might be like 72 years old and feel like, you know what, my best is behind me. The devil is a liar. I said if he's talking, he's lying. Your best is not behind you. God has already been to your future, and he said, hurry up and get back. I want to bless you where you are. I want to bless you with the strength you have left. Empty nesters, just because your kids are gone does not mean your calling is over. I'm doing a new thing. I'm doing a new thing in your life. I'm doing a new thing in this church. You saw how I moved that water when you needed to go through it? Now I'm going to make the water come up where you need it the most.